What's up, everybody? We are live now. It is Monday night, 8 p.m. Thank you for listening to and watching Landscaping to the Point. We have some great new guests on here tonight. We have Colton from Ferris Mowers on here with us. He has joined us. He likes to be on a lot of these different shows, so he he's glad. I'm glad to have him on here. We got tons of questions to ask about Ferris Mowers. I mean, we've been wanting somebody from a standpoint of a power equipment. So I'm glad to have you on, Colton. Thank you for
Heck
being on.
yeah. I appreciate you having me on. I didn't run it by any upper management, so I just go. I just ask for forgiveness later, you know. So
That's the best way to do it. I mean,
no big deal.
I
No big
mean,
deal.
yeah. I mean, if there's something wrong, I mean, at least we'll know now, and then like you can just be like, hey, I'll do whatever you need from here on out. Just let me slide on this one. So
Yeah, sure that.
so Colton, I'm gonna go jump right off the bat. I really am. I really am. So my main thing is tell me why Ferris is much better than every mower out there. I want to know from you.
We are the only people in the industry with independent suspension, and when you run into guys that are married to certain brands, they like to call that silly. And my rebuttal to that would be, do you like to ride around in your truck with no suspension? And they kind of cock their head sideways, and it's like, you don't. So why don't you have suspension on your lawnmower? So that's what sets us apart. We have independent suspension on the frame paired with the suspension seat that a lot of our competitors use. But when you're talking about suspension on the frame, nothing's holding a candle to it.
I see. I see.
Have you been on one?
No, I haven't. I've been at to equip like years and years, and I've always wanted to get on one, and I just haven't got on one.
Come on, man.
And I've been trying to get to you because I know you won't come all the way up to me. So I keep telling them to come up here, but Colton's like, I can't drive that far. It's too far for
Well,
me.
I don't make the rules. You know what I mean?
I know, I know.
Maybe we can work something out, though. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I know we are. We're gonna figure something out. Next time I can come down to you or something, and we're gonna get this going because I want to definitely demo one of your Ferris mowers,
For sure.
and I'd rather do it with you than anybody else.
Well,
So
I appreciate that.
so it has independent suspension. Is there anything else that stands out? I mean, I know like Gravely they promote their thicker decks and all that stuff. Is there anything different besides the independent?
Our decks are 7-gauge steel. They're fabricated, but a lot of our other competitors are running fabricated decks. Now, I will say I haven't seen any of the stand-ons in the industry having the oil guard system. Briggs and Stratton does own Vanguard engines, which is exclusive, or the oil guard system is exclusive to the Vanguard engine, and you'll see that on some of the zero turns. Unless I'm wrong, I haven't seen the oil guard system on any of the stand-on units. So that's one of the things that sets the Z3 apart from any of the other stand-ons in the industry.
I got to say, the few years that I've gone down to the expo, I've always made it a point. And the last time I was there, I did have an opportunity to try out a few of the Ferris mowers, some of the stand-ons and some of the zero turns. And that was the first thing I did notice was it felt like a Cadillac pretty much when you're operating it, like the smoothness of it. Now, obviously at the expo it's a little different because you can't really get a chance to test like cut quality and stuff like that. But I guess my question would be like, as far as cut quality, like how would you describe a Ferris mower?
Our cut quality is right there with it. Here's how I kind of describe it to everybody else. Every metric that you use to compare these lawnmowers, so whether it's the engines, the decks, the tires, the the transaxle, so hydros or parkers or wheeler pumps, all the things that you use, price points, everything is about the same. But when you get to comfort, ours is above and beyond everybody else because we have that independent suspension, which in turn helps you stay healthy, because I mean, I'm sure you guys are used to it. If you're cutting a lot on a zero turn, you feel like you just got jumped, On ours, it's not necessarily the case as much. And with that being said, you're more productive. So if you're going over rougher terrain, you're not having to slow down going over the rough terrain because you have that independent suspension.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So is there? I mean, what type of? You said Vanguard is the only engine that you guys have on your guys'.
We offer Kawasaki engines and Vanguard engine options. You won't see a Kohler on a Ferris.
Okay.
Nothing against Kohler. I'm just making sure that did not get twisted. Cowie or Vanguard.
Okay. So
which ones do you like?
I mean, I like Kawasaki. I hate to say it. I mean, I've been to all the Kohler plants, but I mean, Kawasaki is probably one of the better that we choose now, just because I feel like it lasts longer than, and they got a better warranty than a lot of the other ones in the industry.
Gotcha.
So what's your warranty on everything? Like, do you guys have a strict warranty on, like, say 1,000 hours or so?
Not necessarily. Okay. Yes. So the warranty on the overall machines it's a 2+2. So 2 years, unlimited hours, or 4 years, 500 hours, whichever one comes first. That's on the whole machine.
Okay.
The suspension components are 5 years unlimited. Specifically on the zero turns and the standards, we haven't seen any sort of issues coming out of the factory in terms of the suspension. Now, if you get old buddy run it into a fire hydrant or a tree stump and it bends one of the components on that suspension, it's really tough to get that back, because if you mess something up on one of them control arms, like I ran into a guy and he said he had a worker run it into a fire hydrant and it bent something on it, and he was like, dude, that it never cut the same after that. So as long, barring something like that, which I would call it a user operator or operator error, my bad.
Right.
You won't have any issues out of suspension. The engines are running 3 years, and I'm missing something else. On the zero turns, you get a 3-year warranty on the belt. It's a 2-belt system.
Okay. So that's not bad. I mean, most engines are, the belt, warranty is pretty good, because a lot of them don't warranty belts, and a lot of that stuff, what you explained, I mean, the warranty is a lot better than anywhere else that I can name of. I mean, Gravely's the only one that I know. I mean, we use Gravely a lot at our shop, and, the only reason we went with them is because of the gap type insurance type thing that they had, where if something happened, they, gave you one off the showroom floor till they fixed it. But man, your guys' warranty, it just seems outrageously good. Like, it's not like it's something to pass up on.
Now, we don't necessarily offer that quote unquote gap insurance as the manufacturer. I guess that you could say that we do something along those lines with our demo program. So every dealer, they get a shot at, like, I think they get 4 demos every year, and then whatever they want to do with those demos after that, that's up with them. So, if they get a discount on them. So if they want to turn around and sell their demo unit brand new and make that extra margin, they can do that. Or they can lend it out as a demo, or like if you come in and you got something broken, like, dude, something's got to get me through,
Right.
Some dealers will use those demo units, like, all right, well, take this until we get it fixed. But, Ferris doesn't necessarily get into dealers' businesses and tell them how to run their business with their demo unit specifically. But, that's just up to them and how they want to roll it out.
Right. Hey, Colton, what's entry level price point for someone to get on a Ferris at this at now?
A 300 is going for about $3,800. So you got.
What is that more? Is that more residential or commercial type?
I'd say that's your residential. They're probably cutting less than an acre.
Okay.
And then it goes 300, 500, 6, 7, 8, 2200, 3300, and then after the 3300, you get into the diesels.
What's one of the diesels cost you?
Oh man, a brand new car just about. You got the 2600 that comes with a Yanmar 25.5 engine. That's a diesel. It runs, I'd say the minimum advertised price is around 25,000 or in that ballpark. Now, if you really wanted to get nasty, you could go with that IS 6200, 48 horse Caterpillar supercharged. Big Daddy, 35,000.
Wow. I think you just got Josh's attention there. He's looking to buy it now.
I'm looking it up right now.
Heck yeah, dude. Hey, 15 gallon fuel capacity. It's got a little digital dial on the side. Man, that thing, we had it at the expo out there. I was like, man, I was asking my manager, I was like, dude, can I get one of these for a demo? And he was just like, no way. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Can't blame him. But
that's probably one of the ones that they're like, oh yeah, we'll just keep that to ourselves.
absolutely. That's more of municipalities or guys with like, expendable income or like farms and such like that. Because I mean, 35 grand for a lawnmower, that's something serious.
If 3,800 entry level for your base model, well, what like a guy that's getting into more commercial or maybe like 2 or 3 acre properties, are we looking more like a $7,000 to $12,000 mower?
Yeah, so you're technically under the Ferris guidelines, we technically call our commercial grade equipment an 800 and above, but the 7 and 600 have a lot of commercial features. I mean, heck, even the 3 and the 500 have fabricated decks. We don't have any stamped decks on anything. Now, we kind of call the guys that are, your quote unquote weekend warriors, they'll run a 6 or a 700. But if you're running a business, I always tell guys I wouldn't go anything less than an 800. And you can get a 52 or a 60-inch deck on that one. Or homeowners that are doing, like you said, 2+ acres, 700, 800s. Now, the difference between the 700 and the 800, you get the ISX suspension on the 800. On the 700, you only get the IS suspension. And it's not really a good way that I could describe that. You'd kind of have, if you could like share it on the screen and show it, you're getting bigger shocks on the 800 and you're getting 4 points of contact on the front casters on the 800 and above. And on the 700, you're just getting a pivot in front axle with some shocks on the sides, and they're smaller.
Okay. So out of all those things, if I wanted to get into a commercial mower, how's that going to set me apart from all the rest of them mowers and the other brands out there?
Well, you're going to have the independent suspension, and depending on what type of properties that you're running, which I would be asking all those questions as you're looking at the unit. Independent suspension paired. I'm not married to the Vanguard engine, but if I'm a commercial guy, I'm married to the Vanguard engine for sure, because you get the oil guard system. It's 500 hours. It's a dry sump system. I mean, it's saving you time. It's saving you money. And it negates the opportunity for somebody at a dealer to mess something up whenever they're working on the unit, like not putting an oil filter on it. Fun fact, I did that one time whenever I was in college. Blew an engine. Ooh, pain. It was bad.
Blowing engines are not good. No,
the owner was just looking at me like, dude. I was like, I'll just work for free for the rest of the summer, and he was like, don't worry about it. But I was like, dang, man, that's not a good look,
Right. So I got one question for you. Is most of the stuff made in America?
We are assembled in America.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all them components are all made in America, because then I'd be lying. And that I believe that's the case for everybody, though. So I'm not the only one in that boat. But we are assembled in America, in Sherrill, New York, and it's cool because it's cool that you asked that, because our marketing guy Chad, he's doing like a history of Ferris, and we have a pretty wild history. So be on the lookout for some of that stuff coming out. We bought a school in Munnsville, New York for $1. And we manufacture our quote unquote bench builds there. So like walk behinds, diesels, we build those at an old school. It's pretty sweet. You got a nice, 30 for 30 looking documentary coming out on it here soon.
Is that coming out on YouTube?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be on YouTube. I know he's leaked a little bit of the stuff on Instagram. I'm not sure if it'll be on YouTube. If it's not, we're going to get it up on there, though. That's for sure.
That'd be cool to watch. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, dude, at one point we had guys that were working for Ferris refinancing their house and taking that money and putting it into the business to keep it going. I mean, they're dedicated. I mean, I would never do that. Sorry. I'm not refinancing the house to keep the business rolling. It ain't, you know what I mean?
Hey, right. Colton, I got a question for you, man. So I've always found it like intriguing. It's kind of a general question when it comes to every mower company. You always see like certain companies their main focus or their let me see, it's like the area, like the South, you'll get Gravely, like the Northeast, you'll get Wright,
Yep.
Toro. Ferris is kind of like Alabama, Florida, if I'm not mistaken, the majority of your customer base.
We do well in the Northeast because that's where we're manufactured. I'm not going to blow any smoke though. I'm not familiar with the Midwest region, the market share up there, or the Northeast as much. I do know we're really big in Atlanta. So I cover Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, all the way down to the Panhandle of Florida. We're really big in Nashville. We do pretty good in the Chattanooga market. Going up I-75 through Cleveland and Athens, we do pretty good through there. Knoxville, we're still trying to grow it. Atlanta, we're doing very well in Atlanta. Alabama, we're working on that one. And then Panhandle of Florida, we do pretty well. And then parts of North Carolina, Virginia, we do pretty good. I'm more familiar with that area because that's where I'm mostly operating, and I'm talking to the guys on our sales team, more than I am guys in the Northeast and or Midwest. But
Yeah.
we're all over the country. It's just certain places we're kicking butt, and then other places we got some work to do.
It's weird because it's almost like warm weather grass types, people prefer certain types of brands. Cool weather grass types, people prefer other types of brands. And when it comes to mowers, they'll say it's like the cut quality. Sometimes it's better for a cool season grass type than a warm season grass type. I know Scott, he uses Gravely, and whatnot, but I'm in Massachusetts. I don't see a lot of Ferris. There are a few here and there in between. But yeah, it's just to me, I've always found that maybe it's like preference within the region.
A lot of that has to do with dealers.
Okay.
As I'm sure you're aware of. If you have a strong dealer base, you do very well. If you do not have a strong dealer base in whatever region you're in, you're not going to do as great. Or if you have dealers that, how can I word this the nicest way, do not do the best of their ability sometimes. I'm sure you have ran into a few of those in your days.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, if you got guys that are pushing the brand and they're standing behind it and are knocking it out of the park, I mean, you're going to be knocking it out of the park in that area. But if you guys that are you got dealers that are not doing a good job in some places, kind of lackluster, not good service, not friendly sometimes, that's going to be the case. You're not going to do very well. And that's with any brand, obviously, or any product. It doesn't matter what industry you're in,
Yeah, what are some common defects that people can, kind of expect to have come up when they own a Ferris motor?
I actually ran into one today. So if you don't have the deck level, something just a nut came loose that was holding it together. It come loose and it was scalping it as I was doing a demo with this guy, and I was just looking at it. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks freaking terrible. And he gets off of it and he's like, dude, what's the deal here? And I look at the deck where it's connected to the suspension components. I was like, I see what's wrong with it right here. I lifted it up and tightened it back up with a wrench. I said, dude, get back on that thing and go down there and do a pass down and back and see if it fixed it. And it did. So you got to make sure the deck's level. Now touching on that also, you'll get guys that aren't familiar with how the machine operates. They'll say that because we have the independent suspension on it, that causes it to scalp. I call that an operator error typically, unless something has come loose. They'll say, well, if you're going full speed and then you slow down real fast, the front's going to dip and it's going to scalp. And I'm just looking at them like, well, yes, that's correct. You should know if you're coming to the end of a pass that you need to start toning that thing back and get ready to do a turn. You don't want to be slamming the brakes on anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter what unit you're running. If you do that, it's going to scalp. But other than that, I mean, I haven't seen much.
What is the top speed on the 500s?
I think it's 8 miles an hour.
Okay.
I think. Don't take that to the bank. I think. Now I know.
I'm taking it to the bank. Don't worry. I'm taking it to the bank. I'm gonna tell everybody it's 8 mile an hour. You know.
Okay. Now, so with my role, I'm demoing more commercial grade stuff. So, like I mean, the 3300's 12, the 2200's 10, the 800's 10, the Z3 is 12, the Z2's 10, the Z1 is what is it, 8 blowers. You're running 9 on the 2 small ones and then 10 on the big one. Or no, it's 8 on the 2 small ones and 10 on the big one. I'm more geared toward like commercial guys and municipalities or like large homeowners. So I definitely need to brush up on my residential skills. That's for sure.
Nice. Yeah. So Scott promised us that if we came on the podcast tonight, that you were going to provide each of us with a demo on a nice Ferris mower.
Hey man, I'm down. I'm telling you. Where are all y'all from again?
They're from Massachusetts, and I'm in Ohio. So I mean,
okay, so we got a dude. I think we got a guy that covers Massachusetts, and I think that I was looking at going up to Ohio for something. That was just a conversation that we had. I ain't got that locked in.
Take a drive. Just tell your boss you got to take a drive to Ohio. You got to take the trailer with you.
Look, I'm working on that, and if I can get going up there with that other thing, I'm definitely going to be in touch with you and let you know.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Scott also bribed us with some Ferris swag too. So sorry, Scott, I got to throw you under the bus.
Oh, that's good, man. I can send you a hat. That's all I got, though.
Well, he would love a hat. I mean, he's always changing his hat. He was just talking earlier that he was going to wear his Toro hat just to piss you off. So I mean,
that ain't going to make me mad. I mean, if you like your Toro, that's fine.
I don't even own a Toro.
I think you should give Ferris a shot. I mean, I wouldn't sell myself short. Is how I.
There's a good segue. Where do you guys fit in the top 3? Or do you fit in the top 3?
Who are the top 3?
I think we fit in the top 3. Now, do other people? Maybe not. Are they educated about the brand and the benefits of the units? Probably not. So we're definitely top 3 in the stand-on market and the walk-behinds. The zero turns, I think we got the best zero turn in the game, but we're still working on that. I think last time the stuff came out in one of our meetings, I think it said we had 6% market share. So we're looking to double that by, I think they said like 2027.
Okay.
Which is a feat.
I'd like to see more out there. Really.
Doubling it in 3 years ain't easy.
On the stand on and walk behind, I want you to puff your chest. You said you're in the top 3. Where in the top 3 are you?
Oh, with the walk behinds and the standards, it's number 1. I'm dying on the hill.
All right. Now, aside from the independent suspension, why are you guys number 1 compared to a Toro or a Walker?
Have you look? The only thing that gets remotely close, in my opinion, to that Z3 is the right ZK. That's the only thing that gets close. We can hang
a heel. You're saying I should go buy a right? Is that what you're saying? I should go buy a right instead of
if you want to sell yourself short, you do your thing.
Okay. Good answer.
That's fine.
Well, I got more right dealers by me, so I mean maybe that might work out.
That's a good point. I run into a lot of guys that say, man, I'd love to have a Ferris, but there's a whatever dealer right down the road over there, and if I wanted to get a Ferris, I'd have to drive 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. I just can't justify that. And I just look at them like this. I mean, I can't try and sell you on driving past the dealer you've been doing business with, and they're only 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from your house, and you're going to have to drive 2 or 3 times further to get to the Ferris dealer. I can't knock a man for that, because I don't think I'd do that either.
But you got to think about it though. So let's go to our next one where it's pricing and financing, right? So we covered what entry level price is. Does Ferris offer direct financing or have like fleet deals? Or
we have fleet deals. We have a fleet program. We offer our financing through Sheffield and Synchrony. for the most part. Now, I've run into some dealers that have like a local smaller banks, like independent banks that provide financing locally for guys. But for the most part, Sheffield and Synchrony. We do run a fleet program that's on a 365-day revolving, what's the word? 365 days. So, if you go buy 2 Z3s, or essentially if you buy 2 units, you're going to get a rebate on them. And then it's based off a point system. So, if you buy 2 units, you'll be in that first tier. You might get in that second tier. And you're going to have to buy a pretty good amount of units to get to that third tier, which is like 74 points. And for the most part, each unit's each unit's 5 or 6, like your big commercial units. And then attachments have points too. So, if they get a 3300, that's like 6 points. And then they get like a bagger, I think that's 2. That'd put them at 8, So,
see, if I were you to the argument about the guy not wanting to travel to the dealership, I would say, well, you're going to make less trips to the Ferris dealership than you would with the right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that. Look, when you get into stuff breaking, I say, look, man, if it's made by a man, it's going to break, because even the stuff that God made breaks sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Just saying. So I'm not going to sit here and act like nothing on a Ferris unit's ever going to break, because that'd be a silly thing to say. Just like if it were somebody saying nothing on a Toro or a Ride or a X-Mark or whatever it is never breaks, because then their eyes are brown. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got one last question here before we go into. I got some weird questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
But so you say you get points. So when I get like 74 points, can I like turn in my money and get like a Ferris bag or something? I mean, is that what I do with my points?
This isn't
the
Marvel,
like Marvel points where you get it, you turn it in.
No, it's a big chart, and you got your points going down the line, and you don't every time you buy a unit, that just adds to your point count. You don't actually like take the points or your like point card and go.
Right.
The dealer should keep up with that.
Point card, yeah, like where I could turn it in, at the Ferris.
No. Now, if you're smart, you'd keep up with that, and you'd get documentation from the dealer and say, "Hey, I'm running this under the fleet program. I bought, X amount of units in the past year. When I buy this new unit, that's going to bump me into the next threshold. That should get me some more rebate money." And you don't have to send the rebate all under the fleet program. That the dealer just does it. They just knock the price off right there, and then they turn in the rebate later. So it's not any extra paperwork for you. It's just the rebate is baked into the price right then.
Nice.
I'd be interested in like your marketing guy and what their approach is when it comes to reaching out to online influencers about providing them with products or like a mower. Like, we see a lot of companies do that, obviously, within the lawn care community online, YouTube and stuff like that. Like, it's just kind of crazy, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know we got Ken Morris at Stripe Life. We picked him up, but I'm not gonna lie. That's the marketing department. I'm on the sales side. That anybody that gets in touch with me and is like, "Hey, I'd love to get, sponsored by Ferris or whatever it is," I just say you need to message Ferris Mowers on Instagram, because the guy that's in charge of that runs the Instagram account. Talk to him. Let me know if I can help with anything else. But if it's like anything to do with like the actual marketing department, that is just not my realm, and I hit the deflect.
Have you ever had someone call you to sell to buy a mower based off like influencer marketing from like seeing one of these YouTube guys using the Ferris or something?
Dude, I've had people message me on Instagram and be like, "Dude, I saw your video of that lawnmower and I want one." Okay.
Nice.
But was that from like an influencer or just from like a
commercial? That was a video that I took and posted on Instagram.
Oh shit. Okay.
They were like, "Holy crap, that Z3 is so freaking sick." That's the PG version of what they said. They're like, "Where do I get one of those?" I just said, "Where do you live?" And they told me where they live. pull up the Ferris dealer locator. You know, boom, boom, boom. Here's your closest dealers within, you know, X amount of miles. All right, cool. Sent me a picture of it a couple days later. Bought
That's
one.
cool.
I was like, let's go, dude.
Nice. So
Got paid.
how much CFM does the big stand-on blower take?
7,500.
Wow. Okay.
That's
not
seven Echo 9010s.
That's a lot, yeah. You know what
7. I think it's 200 and some change less than 7 of them, but it's pretty much 7 of them.
Wow. That's not bad. That's a lot of air.
Dude, that thing's a beast. 160 mile an hour wind, or no, 165 mile an hour winds, 3 directions, left, right, out the front, and you can double it up. So I mean, you could be doing like that, or you could be doing like that, like straight and left and straight and right. The minimum advertised, I think, is $14,500.
That's list. Is that what it costs for a contractor?
That's the minimum advertised price. The dealer controls the end price. You know, whatever they sell it for, that's up to them. That's
Gotcha.
all. I can only give out minimum advertised price.
Gotcha.
Which is what they can technically post on, you know, the internet or whatever. Now, you know, we got some dealers that are going to protect their margins and they're going to make a little extra money. And then we got some dealers that are going to give it away and get their rebate check on the back end.
Nice. Okay. Here, I got this off-the-wall question I want to ask you, and I usually ask these to a lot of people. If you could replace all the grass in the world with something else, what would it be?
Probably fescue.
Well, that's grass, isn't it?
Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought you were asking what kind of grass you'd want. Okay, if I could,
you got to get rid of it all. You got to get rid of it all.
Huh? Dang, dude, that's a tough one. I ain't never thought about that.
Yeah. Because I mean, it would probably put you out of business selling mowers. So I mean,
I would definitely have to find a new job. That would suck.
I mean,
Is there a decline? Really... Is there a decline option on that one?
Oh, you gotta go with it.
Well, it looks like you and I are both going to be in the unemployment line because none of them have jobs anymore.
Yeah.
I guess asphalt.
Yeah. I mean, you could use the blower still. So, I mean, yeah, you could still sell blowers.
That. I'm going to act like I was thinking about that.
Yeah, see?
Hey, a better answer for that. Money.
Yeah, there you go. Gold.
Yeah, gold, yeah. All right. So, here you go. Tell me what's the lowest price you can give me on a stand-on mower right now. What's the best price you can give me? Yeah.
The lowest minimum advertised price.
What's the best price I can give you? You can give me. I'm not going to hold you to it. I just want to know so I can.
The lowest minimum advertised price is $9,000. $9,199.
Okay.
I'm not a dealer. If I were a dealer, I would be spitting prices out left and right for you. I mean, I'd be shipping them things up to Ohio, Massachusetts, Canada. It don't matter to me, but I'm not a dealer.
So when are they going to make you a dealer? I mean, you should, because I mean, you're getting a lot of people, you know, right here that want to buy them from you.
You know, that'd be nice if I could be a dealer. Maybe one day I will do that. And Ferris doesn't. I don't think. I mean, I'm under the impression that you just kind of. I mean, if y'all wanted to team up and buy your own store and say, "Hey, we want to be a Ferris dealer," and go get a floor plan and whatnot. I mean,
bad idea.
Make pretty good money.
Yeah, I think Josh is going to jump on it. He's sitting there thinking about it.
What we get a lot of dudes.
Bradley's in this area trying to recruit dealers right now.
Who is?
Bradley Mowers.
Oh, really? Nice. Well,
yeah.
I hope that works out for them.
they're aiming for first position.
Number 3. They said they were number 1. So we're gonna have like a celebrity death match.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I know one thing for sure, and I'm putting all my money in this pot. I'm putting our sales reps against their sales reps, and it's nothing against them as people. I just know that our sales reps are some dogs.
Nice. Well,
see, at the expo, you guys got to rent the space right next to Bradley Mowers just to kind of have that one-on-one.
Get a dump truck load full of dirt and put some sod on it, let it grow. See who
could be worse. Could be DeWalt and turn on fire.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. That's
Here's a
tough.
good way to get an opinion, Colton. So you're a sales rep for a mower company. What do you think of the event that happened at the DeWalt booth with their
I
mower?
think that was. I think that was really bad for DeWalt, and I think that was pretty bad for the electric side of the mowers. I think that in the future, when the technology gets there, all the lawnmowers are going to be electric. The time frame on that, I don't know. That's a tough one. It might be sooner than we think, but if I'm betting it's going to be later than we think.
Are you guys working on something for battery powered equipment?
We have a 300E that's coming out. And then we had a Z2E stand-on unit at the expo, but that is currently not for sale. That was just a prototype. So I'm not sure when we're dropping that, but like I said, I don't think anybody in the industry is there in terms of electric mowers, just based off the fact that there are so many variables that are unknown about electric mowers. How long is it going to last? How fast can I charge it? Is it going to cut thick grass, wet grass? You know,
Right.
Is it going to be too heavy on the trailer? I'm running a 1500 truck right now. Do I have to get a 2500 truck? Do I got to get a double axle trailer compared to a single? Is it going to charge in the trailer? Do I got to put solar panels on the trailer to charge it? And then you got you say somebody is cutting a commercial property and you're on the other end of the the property or whatever. Well, there might be some opportunists, which this is always the case, but there might be an opportunist come steal all of your equipment, and that battery stuff is a lot more expensive than that gas powered stuff. And the main thing for me is trying to get somebody to pay almost 2 times as much for a lawnmower. That's a tough one.
Is that what are we talking? So we talking like in the 20s to low 30s for?
Well, I mean, them Greenworks, they're running about 25 to 30 grand. Right. Now our 300, its MAP price is the electric one is about 10.5. Wow. The same one that's gas is like 38 to 48.
Wow.
It's like, well, if you do the math, because there's no service and you don't have to put gas in it and all that stuff, long term you're going to save money. But would y'all invest in saving that much money in an electric lawnmower?
Upfront cost.
Okay, so if you guys go into battery, how long does that battery last on the 300? Though?
Exactly. That's a good question. Now, it'll last about an hour. It'll cut about an hour or 1 acre, around that much. But that's just a purely residential unit. I'm talking full-fledged commercial units. Like y'all are running them things. I mean, if it rains the day before and you're behind, how long you cutting? 10, 11 hours?
12, 14 hours if we have
exactly. And then you're going to be looking at that mower like, dude, is this thing going to run all day? Well, I can charge it in a trailer. Well, is it going to charge all the way up? You know what I mean? Right. And it's like, if the gas runs out, you just pour more gas in it and get right back to it. And I mean, I'm not being insensitive or nothing, but you get rednecks out here messing with lawnmowers. If something breaks on it, they can most likely diagnose what's wrong with it or fix it right then.
Right.
With an electric mower, it's like, dude, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. And then you take it to your dealer. And if we have a dealer that's selling an electric mower or any of the electric series, they have to have an MST, Master Certified Technician, on site, and they have to pass the electrification, videos and tests and whatnot. But still, they're not going to be able to look at it and be like, yeah, that's what's wrong with it right there. I can fix it right now. It's going to be a lot slower process. So it's just all those variables mixed together tells me that we're a little further away than we would like to think.
Interesting.
In my
Very
opinion.
interesting. Yeah, I think it's a long way away too. I mean, I agree with you on that. It's from what I've seen, it's a long way. I mean, even the small equipment's not totally there yet, So.
Yeah, and I mean, you get the handheld stuff, and some of it does really good, but like I said, for commercial use, you got these are tools that you guys are using to make money, and you can't have them not working, because then you're not making money. You're actually losing money if you're not using those to make money. You know. Now for residential stuff, whatever, just go charge it and come back out in an hour and get it done. You know, it's not a big deal. But commercial applications, like, that is a serious thing. Like, that's big time stuff.
Yeah. So JC, you had a question yesterday. You were asking in our podcast yesterday about the handles or something.
So it must have been the suspension. So on, I noticed it. I think after Colton was explaining it earlier, I think that's what it was. It's like the on the bottom of the deck, it kind of looks like strut bars on the sides. It's kind of like gray, the links. That's part of the suspension, right?
The deck is connected to the suspension components. Yeah. So as you're going over rough terrain, the deck will stay level. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if you don't go hit a pothole that's about that deep and that wide, it ain't going to scalp something. But it don't matter what mower you're using. If that's the situation, it's going to scalp. But as you're going over rough terrain, the front casters are doing this number or whatever, you know, as it's hitting the bumps and whatnot, and the deck's staying level because it's connected to those suspension components.
Now, how durable are those suspension components?
Like I said, 5 years unlimited warranty. So we're standing on that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. So here's one question. I mean, I have had this happen a lot to me because I do a lot of jobs with ponds and stuff. Mm-hmm. But how long can if I drop it in the pond, how long can I keep them blades running before it's going to blow up the engine?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. It might bog it down so bad it just cuts it off. That's what you'd probably be hoping. Obviously, if it's on a stander and you step off, the blades will cut off itself. The engine won't. If it's a sit down and you get out of the seat, the whole thing's shutting off. I was cutting something last year and it was just egregious. There ain't no reason I should have been running a lawnmower through that stuff, but it did get in a big puddle and it bogged the blades down so much it cut the engine off. So, you know, hopefully that would be the case. You don't want to blow the engine. Right. But I would think, or my brain tells me that it would bog it down so quick it just shuts it off.
Okay. So how good they handle on slopes? Like, what degree of a slope can I take a mower on?
They're only going to tell you, because of lawsuit purposes, about 18 to 20. But
okay, so 25%, I'm screwed. I might as well not even come back to you guys.
No, dude, I had a guy get that Z3 and that 3300 on like a 35-degree incline. Wow. Now the Z3 hold it fine. It wasn't sliding or nothing, and I was honestly amazed. I was like, wow, that is awesome. And it even turned up the hill and kept going. I was like, God almighty, that thing's sick. And then the guy that was standing beside me, he was like, dude, can I get the 3300 on it? And I was like, whoa, you're getting a little crazy here, brother. Like, you know, you can do that if you want, but if it flips over and kills you, like, that ain't on us. And he's like, no, it'll be fine. And I mean, he got on it and it slid a little bit, but it was hugging it, dude. I was surprised. I was like, wow. So, I mean, if you got the bravery to get it on the hill, it's probably going to hold it. And if ours don't, I don't know if anything's going to, unless you get like, what is it? One of them bin tracks. It's got like 8 wheels on it.
Right.
Ours ain't doing nothing crazy like that. Those things are something else.
So what kind of upgrades can I get on one of your standards or your sit downs?
You can get any upgrades? Mulch kits. You can get bagging systems. On the zero turns, you can get a hitch on the back. You can get a jack on the front. Lights, stripe kits. We do not sell the grass flaps, but you can get an aftermarket grass flap. I actually got in touch, or a guy called me the other day, and he was like, dude, can you drop that 3300 off at my shop for a few days? I'm trying to make a pedal, like our foot pedal that lifts the deck.
Right.
He was trying to make one that went all the way across the deck. I guess he or someone that he knew had something wrong with like their right leg and they couldn't push the pedal. So he made a bar that goes all the way across it, and you can use your left foot, or you can push it with both feet or whatever. So I don't think that's fully dropped yet. I think he's still in the process of manufacturing that, but we got some attachments that you can get. And actually and we don't make this either, but I was at a dealer the other day, and these guys had an attachment that held a 5-gallon bucket on the front of a zero turn. And then he rigged up a thing and it was almost like a holster for one of them, what's it called? You know what I mean? You squeeze it and pick trash up with it. It's like this.
Okay, yeah.
And it, that was pretty sweet. But I mean, there's some attachments out there that we make, and some aftermarket stuff that you make, or that other people make and sell.
Now, is your vacuums on the baggers, are they powered assisted, or are they just plain?
It's the fast vac. It goes onto the what's it called? There's a belt that comes off of that onto the deck belt.
Okay.
That powers it. Yeah.
Nice. That's pretty good. Okay. Last question of the night for you, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. What side of the armrest is really yours at a movie theater? I'm always confused because, if I'm at the left end, it's usually the left one is always mine. If I'm at the right, it's the right. But if I'm in the middle, like, which one is really mine? Because there's always people sitting next to me, and I can't really figure out which one is mine. Is it the right or the left?
I try and establish dominance at the back of both of them.
Okay.
You know
I guess that's good.
If you get that stronghold in at the bottom of them, toward the seat, you can kind of root them out. It's like Shaquille O'Neal getting on the block. It's over.
I guess that's the best way to do it. I guess. I mean, just take totally over both of them. Why not?
Well, it's not taking both of them over. It's just like you've established your area, and then it's like, well, he kind of got there, and then here you are sitting like a king. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Colton's doing that across the board. He just asserted dominance in the mower industry as number one.
Man, look, Ferris is here, man. We're here we ain't playing games. We're taking names, doing the first mark too.
That's like the center seat in the airplane. Who gets the armrest? Well, I think the center guy gets both of them just because he's in the shitty seat.
Yeah, the center on the airplane is not a fun place.
Yeah,
that is not fun. That is not fun.
So do you try to get there first and get that middle seat right away before the other person does get in there?
No, man. I'm trying to trade. I'm pulling out a 20. You want to trade? Please get me out of this thing. I need an aisle seat, bad.
That's not bad.
For sure.
Well, Josh or JC, you guys got any questions for Colton before we go head on out tonight?
No, it was cool to have a Ferris rep on with us to the show. We want to try to get some more people like you on our show and kind of talk some shop. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was a very good time, Colton. Thank you, and I'm still waiting for my Ferris, equipment to arrive in my driveway, and my hat, my shirt, and my coat. And I mean, you didn't wear your polo tonight, so I'm assuming you're sending it in the mail to me.
I meant to preface that under normal circumstances. And I told y'all this before. I'm gonna let everybody else know. Under normal circumstances, I'd be in front of a computer and would have had a shower and had a nice polo shirt on representing the brand. But I did 3 demos today, and I ain't even got home yet. I'm posted up at a McDonald's gas station doing a podcast. So grind don't stop. Got to keep on going.
That's right. Well, thank you for being on, Colton. Thank you, Josh and JC, for helping me out with this one. And I can't believe that Ferris is number one in the mower industry, and they're going to go all the way even higher. So we're going to see how that goes. So, yep. So thank you guys for being on. Thank you so much, Colton. Thank you, Josh, JC, and keep listening to us. Thank you, Cujo Yardware, for sponsoring the show. And you guys have a great night.